And we're live. What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's going on? It's been a few days since I've been live. Been getting some work done. Even though this live hasn't been a few days, maybe like a day, possibly a day. But yeah, we staying consistent on this channel. We are staying consistent. Um, I am loving what this channel is turning out to be, becoming. You know, so today we're gonna keep the vibe going. That's what we're gonna do today. All right. So as you can see from the title of the stream this evening, as you can see from the title of the stream this evening, which is "Protect Your Peace Like a $1 billion Brand." Protect your peace like a $1 billion brand. And what I mean by that is trying to get a little more comfortable. What I mean by that is, well, the way that I came up with the idea for tonight's stream is I had a thought, and the thought was you have to make sure the people around you share your values to prevent the mayhem, to prevent the stress, to prevent the suffering, to cultivate an easy way. You know what I'm saying? The path that is not filled with the BS. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a certain kind of person, certainly, definitely, if you are a defined person that knows what you want and knows the values of, knows the values that you possess, that you're going to use to get there, and you're not willing to do some of the other things, some things that are not are beneath your standard to get to a certain goal, you know, um, then you got to surround yourself with like-minded people. So that's also where the idea of surrounding yourself with like-minded people, you know, or people that have the same standards as you, although they may not be exactly the same standard, but they should coincide. They should be very similar. They should live in the same house. If you were building a business, and that's how I look at life. You have to look at life. Well, I look at life as I am a $1 billion company. And in my $1 billion company, I have very important business to attend to, right? And in this business, I'm going to have to put people in position to get the job done, while I tend to other things that have to be done, that need, some things are going to need my personal attention. So therefore, the other things I'm not able to attend to personally. But you need to be able to put someone in place that you can count on, that you can trust, that you believe in, that are going to get the job done as if it was you, that are going to get the job done. And when you see it, you're going to say, great job, amazing job, thank you. You want to have the confidence that whatever the task is going to get done in a way that it's like you, or even better, or even better. But it's not exactly the job itself it's it's the, what's the word that I'm looking for to describe this? It's pretty much the confidence that you'll have in this person being able to get the job done. So in life, you are the owner of $1 billion business, and you have these important positions that you must put people in place for. Now, you're a stand-up person. You don't lie. You don't cheat. You won't cheat to get $1. You know, you won't cheat. You won't purposely harm another for you to get to the next level, because you know that it's enough for everyone. Essentially, there's enough for everyone to get to the next level. So you don't have to go out of your way to harm someone. You don't have to lie. You don't have to, do nefarious things to have your way. So would you hire a con artist to, would you put a con artist in your treasury, in your department of treasury where the money is handled? Would you put someone that you know to be a thief? Would you put someone that you know to be a cheater? Would you put someone that you know not to be the best at exercising self-control and discipline and being a stand-up person to your standard? Not a stand-up person to their standard, but a stand-up person to your standard. Would you put them in charge of the money in your $1 billion company? Would you? You know, let's say you had a business partner coming into town, and you know, look, let's take this example. If you had a business partner coming into town and they needed to be picked up from the airport at 5 a.m., would you send somebody who is always late, who is always late? Would you put them in charge of that task? Would you put them in charge of that, to be on time, to pick up your very important business partner? Because your business partner is coming into town to work a deal with you for something that you have been working on for years. Let's say years. It's very important, and now is the time when you guys are going to get this done and get the business to the next level. Are you going to send the person that is undisciplined, always late, and always screwing things up? They've already screwed things up for you already. Would you do that? No. So in your life, right? It's how I look at this. In your life, you have the position of your woman, right? Your woman. For the men, your woman. For the women, your women. Let's just say your significant other. You have to choose these people. You have to vet them. You have to vet them. Understand, you can look at them and say, oh, wow, she looks good or he looks good, whatever it is. But before you put them into that very important position of significant other in your life, you have to make sure you have the same values. Because what are you going to build? What are you going to build this relationship on? What are you going to build it on? You want to build it on the values. You want to build it on the standard. So that way, moving forward, you have an idea as to what you can aspire, you know, as what you can aspire to live, the way you can live. So it's important. So in life, if you run in a bit, if your life is a business, you are a company. You yourself are a company. You're a company. So you have to run your life like a company. You're putting people in the CEO position. You're the owner of the company, but you're going to put somebody in the CEO position. You're going to put somebody in the management position. You're going to put somebody in the vice president position. You're the owner, but you're going to have underlings. You got to hire people that can get the job done. You have to hire people that share your values. If your value is being honest, right? If you pride your business on being honest, then you want to hire honest people. It's very important in relationships in life, friendships, relationships, business relationships. Whatever the relationship is, whatever the dynamic is, if it's business, then you want to make sure you and the other person share the same business dynamics. If you're going to hire them into your business, if you're going to be doing business together, if you want to do good business together, if it's an intimate relationship, you want to make sure, before you put them in that position, their values and their standards, because you may have a totally different perspective, outlook, and standard and values on life than theirs. So you want to make sure that you guys are sharing the same values and standards. All right. So let me get into a few of the talking points. But first, allow me to check my audio, which I should have checked a while ago. Please excuse me for a second. All right, the audio was pretty good. Just checked it out. All right, okay. So let me get into a few of the talking points this evening. All right. Would you hire someone in the company that is you and your $1 billion enterprise, your $1 billion company? Would you hire someone with values that undermine the foundation of your company? Wouldn't be a good idea. That's pretty simple. And by undermine, that means that they'll pretty much destroy or uproot everything that you have built thus far and so far in your business. All right. And let's go. Values and standards. Values are not suggestions. They are standards. When you compromise them, you depreciate your own worth. Just like bad business practices ruin a company's reputation. So putting people in the wrong position in your life